Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of Victory IS. As you already know that we have been discussing the contemporary issues pertaining to past 2-3 years. We have already discussed the fish species in the last two videos. In the same series, which all pertains to the contemporary issues of the aquatic mammals or the aquatic animals, in the same series, today we are going to discuss about the important area from where a number of questions have been already asked in the previous years, that is the crocodiles. So today we'll take up 7 current affairs developments which all pertains to the species crocodile. So let's begin with the first topic. Let's see what all we have to discuss. So the first one is related to the census of 2024 pertaining to crocodiles. So saltwater crocodiles it is talking about. So in India, if you look at crocodiles, there are three species of crocodiles that are found. So gharial, let me write it properly, gharial, magar, and third one is the saltwater crocodiles. So three species of crocodiles are found in India. All three species of crocodiles are found in Odisha. These are the important facts that you should every time remember with respect to crocodiles. All three types of crocodiles are found in Odisha. So a census was conducted in 2024. Basically, yearly annual census is conducted, and in the census of 2024, it was found out that there was marginal increase in the number of the saltwater crocodiles. So there was marginal increase in the number of the saltwater crocodiles. So basically the population has increased from 1793 to 1811 compared to 2023 to 2024. So these numbers are not that important, but certain facts about the saltwater crocodiles will have great importance. So you should know that saltwater crocodiles, their best habitat or naturally where they are found in largest number rather, is Odisha, and the wildlife sanctuary or the national park where it is found is called Bhitarkanika. So it is the most preferred natural habitat of the saltwater crocodiles. So that is why this Bhitarkanika is the one which has been talked about in the newspaper. So first thing you should know that this is the most preferred natural habitat for the saltwater crocodiles. एक बार UPSC पे question भी है कि there are certain species given and then most preferred natural sites, natural protected areas were given in the second column, and you were asked that which of the following are correctly matched. So matching based questions were asked based on this idea कि some species is given and which national park is the most suited, most preferred natural habitat, right? So anyway, so this is the idea that Bhitarkanika, if you look at the location of Bhitarkanika, just a second. So if you look at the location of the Bhitarkanika, let me draw the map of India, a small map of India, and then let's say this is Nepal, this is Tripura, Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya, and then over here, let's say this part is the state of Odisha. So over here, if you look, there is a lake, a lagoon lake called Chilika Lake. Do you remember the location of Chilika Lake? And north of Chilika Lake, you will find Bhubaneswar, the capital city of Odisha. And north of Bhubaneswar, northeast of Bhubaneswar, you will find Bhitarkanika National Park. Bhitarkanika National Park or Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary. So, this coastal area, let me have another color. This coastal area, the east of Bhitarkanika National Park, is called Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary. And this is this Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary where you will find several news developments related to mass nesting of olive ridley turtles. Just a second, guys. So, over here in this Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary, every now and then you'll come across in the newspaper that there is example of mass nesting of olive ridley turtles. So, point I am trying to make here is that this entire area, including Gahirmatha and Bhitarkanika National Park, is highly rich in biodiversity. So, in Bhitarkanika National Park, you will find largest number of saltwater crocodiles, and this Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary, well, you will find the examples of mass nesting by the olive ridley turtles. Okay, then moving further. So, the report suggests that the census data suggests that there is increase in the hatchlings, in the juveniles. The major problem that the census encountered that adults are posing a danger to the humans. So, there is this case, the several episodes of human-animal conflict, and this conflict is rising due to crocodile moving 70 to 100 kilometers from the park. So, from this Gahirmatha National Park, this Bhitarkanika National Park, these crocodiles, basically these crocodiles are primarily adapted to the salt water. Do remember the word primarily. They are primarily adapted to salt water. They are aquatic animals, but they also have traits of amphibians. So, sometimes they crawl over the land as well. So, they do have the traits of amphibians. So, at times they have been traveling away from this Bhitarkanika National Park and entering into the human settlement. And this leads to conflict between the two, and that results into death of number of saltwater crocodiles. So, this is the major challenge, the major threat that the census data is highlighting. Now, coming to the habitat Bhitarkanika, which is located in Odisha. Just remember these facts, we have already discussed. Bhitarkanika National Park is in Odisha, is in the state of Odisha. Right or eastward of Bhitarkanika is Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary. Gahirmatha Wildlife Sanctuary. And India's second largest mangrove forest. So, this is the area, this entire ecosystem has huge abundance of mangrove forest. So, mangrove forest in India is found in largest number in Sundarban Delta. Sundarban Delta or Sundarban area. Sundarban is the largest delta formed by Ganga and Brahmaputra. So, that deltaic area is called Sundarban, where we have the largest abundance of the mangrove forest in India. So, and this saltwater crocodile species is the largest living crocodile. So, largest living crocodile ka example is saltwater crocodile. Odisha is the only state in India with all three crocodile species. So, I told you in the beginning itself, what are the differences in these three? The gharial, mugger and saltwater. So, if you look at gharial, it has elongated large snout. So, its mouth or snout is elongated and large, and then mugger, they have broad snout. So, by the appearance only you can figure out that which one is mugger, which one is the gharial. So, gharial will have longer elongated snouts and the broader in snouts is of mugger, and this salt water will have V-shaped snout. Right? Their mouth is V-shaped. Again broader than then in the beginning it will have some V shaping. Okay, so these are the facts that you should know. And let me tell you certain IUCN related facts with respect to these three. Gharial, if you know, gharial is found in fresh water. Primarily, do remember that it is their natural habitat, it is their preferred habitat. So, they are found in fresh water and their IUCN status is critically endangered. Gharial has the IUCN status of critically endangered. And then mugger is vulnerable. Also, it is found in fresh water. So, their primary habitat is fresh water. In fact, mugger is also called marshy crocodile. So, if you get a question which one of the following is example of marshy crocodile, so it is the mugger. And then salt water, as the name suggests, it is found in the salt water with IUCN status of least concern. So, they are found in large number across South Asia as well as Southeast Asia primarily, and this mugger and gharial, they are found in the Indian subcontinent. This gharial is mostly found in the Himalayan waters. The Himalayan waters are called Himalayan rivers. So, Himalayan rivers will have abundance of gharial, but again do remember that their IUCN status is critically endangered. These are the important facts that you should know. Okay, moving further. This news also talked about that why if there is some increase in the number or in the population of the crocodiles, what are the factors responsible for it? So, the major factor, the major thanks for increase in the number of the crocodiles, the saltwater crocodiles, goes to the conservation effort called Project Baula. So, Project Baula was the project started in 1975 in Dangamal district of the Dangamal place of Odisha. This is in Odisha. So, over here this project started, and obviously the idea was the conservation and protection of all three types of crocodiles, and you should know that Odisha has all three types of crocodiles. We have already discussed this rising human wildlife conflict. Crocodile populations grow, so they are moving away from the national park and ultimately having some kind of interaction with the human settlement and resulting into the conflict. Okay, so remember the name Project Baula. This does not indicate that what is this project is about. So this itself is a question ki project Baula is associated with which of the following. So they might give you the options like the conservation of tiger, any kind of a species or anything. So the right answer would be conservation of the crocodiles, all types of crocodiles that are found in India. Okay. Then moving further, let's have a look at the question that, although I have given the answer, but try and figure out the answer on your own. We have already discussed these points. Consider the following statements regarding crocodiles in India. Bhitarkanika National Park is the only habitat. There is a word only. So if they write it is the primary habitat for saltwater crocodiles, this would be correct, but only is a problematic scenario. If they write primarily, that will make a great sense and it should be right then, because primarily they are found in Odisha. Okay, and then Odisha is the only state in India to have all three species. So despite having the only word, the extreme word, the statement is correct. And saltwater crocodiles are the largest living crocodilian species. We have already discussed this. So last two statements are correct. They are asking about the correct one. So I think B should be the answer. B is the correct answer given here as well. So make sure that you have written these facts in your notes copy in brief, so that later on you can revise. Okay. Moving further. So this one is an ancient marine fossil. This fossil belongs to some 185 million years ago. So basically it belongs to Jurassic time period. So a fossil has been recovered. The fossil is of Thaletosuchian, and just remember the name. They might write that this phrase was sometimes seen in the news. It is related to which of the following. So it is a fossil again belonging to the crocodiles. So it represents the oldest complete. The word complete is important. Thaletosuchian fossil found till date. In fact, this development, this fossil recovery or discovery is very important in the sense that it has pushed the dateline for the origin of the crocodiles 15 millions earlier than previously thought. Okay, so earlier it was thought that the origin belonged to some closer time period, but yes, it pushed 15 millions back to the timeline of the origin of these species. So they are long, slender snout. If you remember, long, elongated or cylindrical snout was of the saltwater crocodiles. अभी बताया मैंने. And they are similar to, not crocodile, I'm sorry, they are similar to घड़ियाल्स. अभी हमने कुछ देर पहले डिस्कस किया. They are similar to घड़ियाल्स and they are well adapted for the marine life, जिसका हमें fossil मिला है. तो this morphological features could be one important thing that you should know, and other than that, remember this name or that name, the Turner Suchus Hingley. So these are the names that these phrases could be written in the examination, and a simple question could be framed like, look at this question. So this question is saying the term Turner Suchus Hingley, recently seen in the news, refers to what? A newly discovered species of gecko in the Western Ghat? No. So an ancient marine crocodile fossil. So this one is right. A rare medicinal plant? No, and no discovery from NASA. So such questions could be asked in the examination. Moving further, another area where discovery occurred, where some kind of discovery has been seen. So सैलाई गोमेज, सैलाई गोमेज एक रिज है. Riz is basically a mountain like structure found in the water bodies, the oceanic areas, on the floor of the oceans. So Sally Gomez Riz is an eastern island, is part of Easter Island. Easter Island is located in the south eastern part of Pacific Ocean में, west of I'd say South America, this Easter Island is located. So या तो मैं बोलूँ west of South America, or we can say southeastern part of Pacific Ocean. So southern eastern part of Pacific Ocean has this Easter Island over there. This part of this Easter Island is one riz called Sally Gomez, and in this Sally Gomez there have been certain discoveries, certain findings were seen. 160 species found, including 50 potential new species of different aquatic life. So this discovery, so remember this, first of all, this is not something that we read in the traditional classes in the static portion of geography. So just remember the ridge, the name of the ridge, Sally Gomez Ridge, which is part of Easter Island, which is present in southeastern part of Pacific Ocean. That is one thing. So geography is very important. And then do remember that these ridges are mostly the underwater mountain chains with 110 plus. So this number is not important, but it is basically a chain of sea mounts which is found in the southeastern part of the Pacific Ocean, or along the along the off the coast of entire South America. So this, if you look at this chain, let's say this is the water surface. Let's suppose that this is Pacific Ocean and this is the equator, and so over here you will find South America. So this Sally Gomez Ridge and Easter Island is located somewhere here, and it is having east to west orientation, and over here the country is Chile, over here it is Peru. So this island is under the control of Chile. Chile is the western South American country. This entire country is Chile. Okay, so and over here Atacama Trench and Humboldt's Current is present over here. So it is saying that it is separated by Atacama Trench and Humboldt's Trench. So Easter Island is one of the most remote inhabited places. So the population over here is scarce, very less. Okay. It is a major biodiversity hotspot and migration route for marine life. So these are the facts that you should know about this ridge, which is found in the Pacific Ocean, to be more precise, in the southern eastern part of the Pacific Ocean. Have a look at the question, the kind of question that could be framed. Consider the following statements regarding Sally Gomez Ridge. It is an underwater mountain chain located in Indian Ocean. No, it is in the Pacific Ocean. It is a biodiversity hotspot located near the Easter Island. Makes sense? Yes. So it is asking about the correct statement. B for Bombay is the right answer to this question. Then moving further, so some manatees gathering was seen in the Blue Spring State Park is there in Florida. This Blue Spring is a hot water spring. It is a hot water spring, and some thousands of manatees. Manatees are the sea cows. जैसे इंडिया में आप देखेंगे तो ड्यूगोंग, but over here we are talking about the sea cows. So these manatees were seen in this hot water spring in large number. So in Florida manatee, the Florida manatees it is related to. So an event occurred, basically a large gathering, thousands of manatees gathered in warm springs due to sudden temperature drop in St. John's River. So first remember that this St. John's River, St. John's River is in Florida. So if you look at the map of North America, this is broadly the map of North America. So this part is Florida, and along the eastern edge of the Florida, over here there is a river called St. John's River. These manatees are primarily found in Florida in this St. John's River, but recently because of significant temperature drop in this river, they have migrated to the nearby Blue Spring State Park, which is a hot water spring. So this was the news. Let's understand certain facts about these manatees. These manatees are the large herbivore aquatic mammals. They are herbivores. Sea cows are the typical example of manatees, and in India the manatees ka example is dugong, and the IUCN status is vulnerable. They require warm water to survive winter, and that is why they migrated to this hot water spring. Okay, now moving to the question. Let's see the question. So most probable question is with respect to the St. John's River, which usually we do not study as again part of the static learning of the geography, but through current affairs you should know these rivers, the name of these rivers and where they are located. Then second, with respect to the manatees, that question could be there. So it is saying that they are large herbivores, aquatic mammals. Makes sense, they are herbivores, they are aquatic, they are mammals, it is right. They are listed as critically endangered. So right away I told you that they are vulnerable. So this one goes wrong. And they are known to congregate in warm water during winter. So this is what the phenomena was seen, this is what the news was about. So 1 and 3 are correct, and they are asking about the correct statement. So C should be the right answer, right? Then moving further, the fifth news, the fifth contemporary development is related to the sperm whales communication. If you remember the last discussion with respect to the communication that is taken by the whales, we discussed that in the last session about the fish species. We discussed about the disruption to the communication by the whales due to deep sea mining, deep sea or deep ocean mining. So basically, due to deep ocean mining or deep sea mining, the frequency which was generated by during the process of deep sea mining was overlapping with the frequency which the whales used to generate. So because of this overlap, there were certain miscommunication in the whale community. So that was the news that we have already discussed. Over here it is specifically talking about sperm whales. We have already discussed in detail about the sperm whales. So certain more discoveries which is related to their communication. First of all, they have kind of phonetic alphabet. They have some phonetic alphabet kind of communication system which is called codas, and that is a clicking sound. So some clicking sound is there which is similar to phonetic alphabet that these sperm whales produce, and these sperm whales are the largest toothed whale. So their conservation status, all these facts are very important. In the past 2-3 years, they have been seen in news several times. So remember these facts. They are the largest toothed whale. Their IUCN status is vulnerable in India, and they are listed under Schedule 2nd of Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. So this Wildlife Protection Act, which is the apex legislation, the primary legislation for the conservation and protection of the wildlife in India. So under that it is mentioned or listed under Schedule 2. If you know, total number of schedules are 6. So from Schedule 1 to Schedule 6, there are total 6 lists being maintained under this act based on the threat perception. So highest threat perception, it is that species would be placed under Schedule 1, and the lowest threat perception it would be placed under Schedule 6. In fact, Schedule 6 is for the plant species. So I have already discussed in my previous videos about this Wildlife Protection Act. Anyway, so the major threats are vessel strikes, fishing gears, all those things are the major threats that these sperm whales are facing. Okay, then moving further, look at the question. So question is saying they are the largest toothed predator on the earth. Makes sense, they are the predators. So this one is correct. In India, they are protected under Schedule 2nd of Wildlife Protection Act, correct. Codas are the clicking sounds used by them for communication. So all 3 statements are correct. So D is the right answer. Okay, then this sea anemone, actually if you look at this anemone word, anemone is a flowering plant on the land. So it is a terrestrial flowering plant, but sea anemone is an aquatic animal. So understand these differences, that over the land a beautiful plant is found, a flowering plant is found, after which this sea anemone has been named in the aquatic ecosystem. So this sea anemone is an aquatic animal because of the similarity with the flowering plant that is found on the land, it has been named so. So what is the news? The news is saying that these animals are undergoing bleaching. So these colorful aquatic life is experiencing whitening of the species, and this bleaching is happening primarily because of the temperature rise, or call it global warming or climate change. And this is noticed at many places, but this news is related to Agathi Island. So Agathi Island is in Lakshadweep. So Lakshadweep, if you know, Kavaratti, then Agathi, Minicoy, all those islands are there. So across this Agathi Island, it has been noticed that sea anemone are undergoing bleaching process because of the temperature increase. Okay, so due to rising sea surface temperature, they are becoming white. That whitening process is called bleaching. So if you look at this anemone, what is happening, this aquatic anemone is in symbiotic relationship with algae. Algae is a microplant species in the water bodies. So It has symbiotic means mutual relationship. So this algae provides food and color to this anemone, but due to increase in the temperature, this algae is expelled from the body of these anemone. So this anemone used to provide shelter to the algae, and this algae in exchange used to provide food and color. But because of this rising temperature, these algae are dying, they are getting expelled from the body and ultimately resulting into bleaching. And in fact, these anemones have also symbiotic relations with green algae. One I told you, it also has the symbiotic relationship with clownfish. Clownfish is an ornamental fish. ऑर्नामेंटल फिश मतलब दी फिशेस जो हम लोग एक्वेरियम में रखते हैं. सो दीज ऑर्नामेंटल फिशेस आर फाउंड इन अबंडेंस इन द आइलैंड ऑफ Lakshadweep. So this clownfish also has symbiotic relationship with the sea anemone. So sea anemone को basically this clownfish provides food. Okay, so these are the important facts about sea anemone. So one question could be related to its bleaching, the factor responsible for its bleaching. See, there could be many reasons, but have a look at the question. This is a very good question. Mass bleaching of sea anemones are recently observed in Agati Island. Which of the following is primary trigger? The word primary trigger is important. So primary trigger is not the ocean acidification, no. Rise in sea surface temperature makes sense. Excessive sedimentation, no. Oil spills, no. So primary trigger is this one. So remember these facts. Okay, otherwise you might end up clicking any of the four options, because all the four options sound sensible, but again the right option is B1. Okay, moving further, the last topic for the day. With respect to gharials which have been spotted consecutively for the third time in Kaziranga. So Kaziranga National Park is in Assam. Already I have talked in detail about Kaziranga National Park when I was talking about the one-horned rhinos. But today this news is pertaining to the gharials which have been spotted in Kaziranga for the 3 consecutive years. So this spotting is becoming common in Kaziranga because of the availability of the fresh water. So this fresh water is the ideal condition for the growth and development of the gharials. So if you remember, in the beginning also I said that gharials are primarily found in the fresh water. Their natural habitat is the fresh water. So this fresh water, the rich biodiversity of Kaziranga National Park is providing the ideal habitat for the gharials. So especially the facts about these species, I have already told you that this species is critically endangered. It is highly aquatic fresh water, mostly found in the Himalayan rivers, already told you. Unlike crocodiles, crocodiles means they are talking about the saltwater crocodiles, they move rarely on the land. So if you remember, the saltwater crocodiles were having conflict with the humans because they move sometimes on the land, but they do not move on the land. So they do not show the property of amphibian. That is what this is trying to convey. And gharials, if you remember, okay, so we have already discussed all those things. Just have a look at the question. The question says that it is listed as critically endangered. Makes sense. It is primarily found in salt water, no. Primarily, no. Primarily in fresh water. High freshwater fish diversity is crucial, yes. So they eat the freshwater fishes. So that is why high freshwater fish diversity is crucial for the habitat suitability. So accordingly the answer would be C for Chennai. So this is the right answer. So I think this is all about today's discussion. This was mostly about the crocodiles, the different current affairs developments that were there in the past year 2023. We have been targeting the prelims of 2026, keeping in mind the requirement of the environment and ecology. We will come up with some more current affairs developments that pertains to environment and ecology. Thank you for being with us. Have a great day.